Hello and welcome back to the Q&A for today, the 7th of October 2013. So today's question is, in your opinion on the World First nowadays and how more guilds want to be a part of it. So pretty much I'm just going to talk about the whole World First race and how I think that mentality can be boiled down into things that could just make gameplay more interesting for different servers and things like that. So let's go. Now, about the actual race itself, I think the race, it's more something that's interesting to watch. It gets a lot of discussion, and I think it's very fun because of that. It's interesting to see guilds be creative, and these top guilds, they're not just doing like some strategy you find in Icy Veins. They're doing it before there's strategies made for these fights. They know their stuff, and they really are doing a massive amount of work, and they're being creative. It's just so cool to watch. For an example, Paragon, 1 healing, Garrosh, 10 heroic. Things like that. It's pretty fun to watch, in my opinion, and it's always fun to watch people that are extremely good at doing something. It's like sports, or StarCraft, or League of Legends, or Dota, stuff like that. It's interesting to watch. So yeah, my opinion is that I enjoy it, but what's more interesting is how to make guilds want to be a part of it. Now, being a part of World First is only for a very, 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 very small subset of people, and honestly, it's one that the vast majority aren't in, and it's not something that Blizzard should really worry about. Right now, the World First thing is fine the way it is, and they don't need to be trying to add things and giving rewards for World First. What I think is interesting, though, is the whole idea of making it competitive, putting in leaderboards or things like that. I think that's really cool. Right now people are busy with like WoW Progress and stuff like that, and that's fine, but it's not in-game. So right, at the minute, I like the idea of server firsts. And I think that should be expanded upon, perhaps, so there's some more distinction than just server first. Maybe you wouldn't go for a title because that's probably too much of a reward, but there should definitely be something for the World First guilds, and the server first. There needs to be a way that everyone in the server sort of feels, hey, these guys did a really good job, or something cool happened that our server was there to witness. I think that for getting guilds more competitive in general, and competition really is something that's fun, it's interesting. I think they should do leaderboards. So you could have a server leaderboard that you open up in-game to look at people's progression through different raids. And I think that could be really cool, because not only can you see, oh, our team's getting better, we just overtook these people, and it's fun. Not only that, but you're also, it's competition. You're beating people, there's a bit of a race going on to see who can get first, or who can get to a certain boss next, things like that. Now right now we already get quite a bit of enjoyment out of that just in WoW Progress, but WoW Progress takes time to update. It's not very quick, it's not snappy, and I just don't think it's the best way of doing it. Rolling things like that into the game UI would definitely, I think, make the whole World First, and competitive rating, I suppose. Competitive rating is a nice idea. It would legitimize it and just give it some more gameplay. It could also lead to some really interesting things, like people's strategies to get far in a raid fast, things like that. Now, of course, this is really just for a normal heroic thing. And also, actually, it's probably worth saying, there should be a normal leaderboard as well, instead of people only caring about the first heroic. So yeah, basically, server by server leaderboards, which let everyone on the server see how all the different guilds are doing. Now, even if they don't get to be a part of these guilds, they still feel like there's something big and interesting going on around them, and that's a nice feeling, I suppose. It makes the game feel more alive, and I think that's always great. Now, in terms of just competitive things in general, I think Path of Exile and some of those action RPGs have actually got a pretty cool system, where they actually have races and leaderboards, which are, I think, really, really cool. Basically, in Path of Exile, they could do like a race, where everyone starts off at level 1, and it's whoever gets to a certain level the highest. I think that's it, or the fastest. I think that's it. I think they could do some really cool things like that with Warcraft. So all the different raiding guilds in a server, say there's like a bi-weekly challenge or something, so it's like some new boss or a new cool thing that you can get together and do, and it's a competition, maybe there's a reward at the end, something like that. I think they can spice up the scene quite a lot. Raiding is very static by its nature. You have a set challenge, and that challenge doesn't really change unless there's a hotfix or something, so I think that by adding more interesting content to that, they can make it better. I guess, yeah, the one thing that I think a lot of PvPers would poke fun at with PvE is that PvE is static, and that's definitely true. So by adding in, say, a random challenge boss which people can queue for every like 2 or 4 weeks, and maybe the first person in the server, or there's like a leaderboard who kills it first, stuff like that, I think that could be really cool. Adding a little bit of competition and sort of fighting spirit to the whole raiding scene. That would be really cool. And also I think it's something that would garner a lot of excitement amongst players. So if there was, say, every 2-4 weeks, whatever, a random challenge boss that just appears in Arena. Hell, even like the Crusader's Colosseum in Trial of the Crusader. There's like a Colosseum, and every month there's a new challenge boss or something, and everyone who goes in there, they get their gear normalized, so it's not really about gear, and it's just a challenge thing for the fun of it. I think that could be really cool, and it's going to get more people into raiding, and it circumvents a gear barrier, and it's relying completely on just being an interesting piece of content. For rewards, you could perhaps have maybe some Valor points, maybe some heirloom gear. That would be nice, I suppose. Not heirloom gear, transmog gear. But yeah, basically, to sum up my opinions, I think that they should place a little bit more emphasis on the whole races within servers to garner excitement among the different guilds. They should have in-game leaderboards so that people can see what the crack is with how people are progressing, and they should add more interesting competitive PvE content, such as that Colosseum style thing that I said earlier, and that's really it. I know today's Q&A is not the biggest, longest, most in-depth, beautiful thing, but I'm really, really damn busy this week, and there's definitely a few days where we may drop down to 2 videos a day. Sorry, there's nothing I can do about it. But anyway, that's it for me. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.